We made it. It's our last homework of the year. So let's do it, mathematicians. We have one more. Let's go. All right, so we have two expressions, and they are being rewritten. Okay, so let's spot the difference. I see 4 that's multiplied by whatever in the parentheses. Agreed. I see that the order of the parentheses has changed, but it hasn't changed any of the numbers. And I see that we've rewritten where our plus sign goes, and we still have a multiplication problem. So it is not the associative property. Even though I do see parentheses, what I put my parentheses around has not changed. So it's not like I put parentheses around the 5 times 3 in one of them and around the 6 plus 3x plus 2 in the other one. That would be the associative property. So this is a no. Also, we're talking addition. So that's an important distinction to watch out for because there's several different things in this problem. But we're looking really at what's different about the plus signs. Distributive property is happening here, but it's happening in both of them. We would distribute the times 4, and distributive property is a multiplicative property. So that hasn't changed in both problems. We're still doing that. Additive identity property. Identity is when your identity doesn't change whether you add 0 to yourself or not, or whether you multiply yourself times 1 or not. And there's no plus 0 in here. Commutative property of addition is when I add one thing and add the other, and it's going to give me the same answer as if I added them in the reverse order. This sounds right because we have our distributive property part plus our regular multiplication part, and then in the other version it's regular multiplication and then plus distributive property. This is showing us the commutative property of addition. Which of the following statements is true? Ooh, this is another one about money, about credit cards and debit cards. Credit card companies do not charge a late fee when you fail to pay your minimum payment. They do not give you that money for free. They're not like, oh, it's okay, you didn't want to pay us back this week, whatever, all good. No, that's definitely false. They will charge you a lot of money if you are late to pay them what you owe them. Debit card bills are sent to you each month for payment. That's true about credit card bills, but a debit card is when you swipe and it immediately takes money out of your account. So that is not an at the end of the month thing. That's a, oh, I swiped my card at 11:52. My money comes out at 11:52. Credit card companies will charge an interest fee if you do not pay your entire balance each month. So you owe $500 and they'll be like, hey, it's okay. No worries. Just pay us $25. And you're like, whoa, I had to pay $500. Now they're only telling me I have to pay $25. That sounds great. But in reality, you still owe them the other $475. And next month, you're going to owe them even more than that, even if you don't pay for anything else on your credit card, because they will charge you interest on that $475. So they want you to only pay the $25. Oh, it's okay, because that's how they make money off of your account. They charge you interest on what you still haven't paid back. That's a true statement. So that's our maybe. And last but not least, there's no limit to the amount that you can charge on a debit card. Yes, there is. If you only have $50 in your account, you are limited to only spending $50 because a debit card is not set up to loan you money you do not have. So our answer is H. Number 3, the length of a chain is 1.5 times, okay, the number of links in the chain. Links are these things that connect in the chain. Okay, which of the following descriptions represents the situation? All of these say the length of the chain, okay. X is the number of links in the chain, okay. Oh, wait a minute, no they don't. This says X and Y. Okay, so let's see. The length of the chain is 1.5 times the number of links. So if I have 4 links, I would do 4 times 1.5, and that would give me the length. And since this is my answer, I'm assuming this is my dependent variable. So length needs to be my dependent variable, not my independent. So C is wrong. C is backwards. And I need it to be a multiplicative relationship. These are my number of links. If I changed it to 5 links, I'd change this one. which means this is my variable, which we're calling x, my independent variable, and this is my coefficient, which is my the number that I'm multiplying it by. So that's what I'm looking for. Which set contains only numbers whose absolute values are greater than 20? Absolute value means the distance from 0. So we are looking for a list that only has numbers that are more than 20 spaces away from 0. Whether it's positive or negative, that does not matter to me. But it has to be more than 20 spaces away from 0. If it's like real close to 0, nope, can't have it. All right, number 5, there's a typo. The parentheses should be right here, and the division sign should be outside the parentheses. So actually, this is what it looks like. Like that. You don't need to put it in the griddable. Last problem of 6th grade math homework forever. Which list contains exactly 2 whole numbers and 3 rational numbers that are not whole numbers? Okay, because remember that rational numbers are any kind of number. I could be like, oh, 2/3, that's a rational number. Oh, 17, that's a rational number. But 17 could also be called a whole number. So they're looking for 2 things that are rational numbers, but their most specific label is whole numbers, and 3 things that are not whole numbers. Everything you deal with in 6th grade is a rational number, so it could be integers, negatives with no fractions or decimals, or it could actually be fractions or decimals. So really what I'm going to focus on is the 2 whole numbers. 4 is a whole number, 8 is a whole number, 10 is a whole number. This is not my answer because I only want 2 whole numbers. So go through, find the list that only has 2 whole numbers and everything else is rational. And then you are done with 6th grade math homework